Hello, welcome back to everyone who's watching, and especially me from the future. Hi, Parul. I know you're going to be watching this. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about what to do when things are not how you wanted them to be, or things were not how you wanted them to be, or people were not how you wanted them to be, or people are not how you want them to be. All these things. It often happens in life that a lot of times things are not how we want them to be. They're hurtful, not good for us, or just sometimes it's just also something not quite what we wanted. So any sort of a resistance, any sort of a resistance towards what is what I'm going to be addressing in this video. So let's start with the topic of people first, because this is a big one. Especially for me, this has been a big one. Um, Especially, growing up, there were people in my life that were not how I wanted them to be, absolutely, and also not how I would have deserved them to be, to have. And of course, the theme continues. Even sometimes you meet people, like even right now, there must be some people in your life that are not how you want them to be, because that's life. Not everyone is going to be how we want them to be, or yeah, basically. So that's the thing. Essentially, what happens, why does it bother us so much when someone is not who we want them to be? I think it's so difficult for people to accept that often people don't accept when that's happening. They will try to defend the person in their head, or kind of whitewash the person, or manipulate the person into becoming different, or things like that, because it can be very tough to accept someone as they are if they're not someone that we want them to be, basically, right? So the first step usually for people is to just go in denial that this person must be different. Maybe I am thinking incorrectly, because it's quite a grueling realization to come to. And people can spend years this way, not really accepting the truth for what it is, people for who they are, and things along the line of that. Just a second. Okay, right, I'm back. So why does this happen? This happens because what starts happening is we start identifying with the people in our life. We start thinking that the people in our life are our sole providers of love or safety. So when you think a certain person in your life is the person capable of providing you love or safety, what you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure that they are who you want them to be, so that you can get love or you can be safe around them, because you subconsciously believe that that's that like it's dependent upon them. So it hurts a lot when then someone would be someone different than you want, because well, this is a threat response of your brain, because now, well, your access to love is cut off and it's threatened, and that's like a big threat in your head, right? And then, or your access to safety, that's also quite a big threat. So if this starts happening, then it will be very, very difficult for you to accept that someone is not who you want them to be, or accept them as who they are, because you know, your access to love and safety depends upon them. So how to unravel this is realizing that your access to love does not depend on anyone else. It always is on you, is in you. You are love. You can always tap into it, right? Um, you need to come to the realization that all love you're seeking externally is present inside you. And it's present in all of us. It's just that when we meet other people, they reflect it back to us. And we become aware of the love that already exists. Love already exists. It's just that during interactions, it becomes more in our awareness, because someone else reflects it so clearly to us. But it always exists. You already are love. there is love in you. There always will be. So if someone's not who you want them to be, or was not who you have wanted them to be, um, that's okay. It's totally okay if people are not who you have wanted them to be. It's entirely fine. It's totally, absolutely okay if someone is not who you wanted them to be. It's because you are love, and your access to love does not depend on other people. It is in you. It always will be. So that's that. And of course, the second limb of this is safety. Safety depends on you. It is your responsibility to protect yourself, not other people's responsibility. I mean, of course, it is ethical. Any good person will not harm you, but at the end of the day, it is on you to protect yourself. And you can always protect yourself. Your sense of safety depends on you, because you make a safe world for yourself by setting boundaries, by advocating for yourself, by stepping up for yourself. That's how you create a safe world for yourself, by being in touch with yourself and letting the part of you that protects you shine in your interactions. So, of course, now I am not dismissing. Some people can affect your safety. Of course, they can physically harm you, emotionally harm you, and stuff so in that sense. But what I want you to realize is, at the end of the day, your safety still lies in your own hands. They might be able to do that, but it is on you to leave that situation. It is on you to set boundaries. It is on you to figure out ways to exit that situation or get that person out of your life, right? At the end of the day, it is in you. Your safety is internal, your protection is internal, just like how love for you is internal, right? And protection is just another form of love, right? If you love someone, of course you protect them. So when you realize that love is inside and it is in you, of course you will protect yourself as well. So this is what I wanted to emphasize, these two things. Yeah, these two things I wanted to emphasize the most, that it's okay. It's totally okay if people are not who you have wanted them to be all your life. If they're still not who you want them to be, like right now, if there are like 5 people in your life who are not what you have wanted them to be, so it's totally okay. Like, you are fine. You are absolutely fine. Your access to love is completely safe. It's completely secure. You're completely safe. You're completely secure. Everything that you think that they are threatening by not being who you want them to be, they're not. They're not threatening you at all. So it's okay. It's okay if they are not who you want them to be. So this also comes down to the fact that we have these conversations around, forgive someone for not being the person that you would have deserved or everything. Well, that's true, but it's also another realization is that you never needed them to be anyway, anyways. You know, then the step of forgiveness is just sort of gone. Of course, you forgive if they have harmed you and everything, but even at the core of the realization lies that you did not need them to be any certain ways in the first place. You did not need them to love you, Of course, you deserved that. Of course, it's the right thing to do. Of course, you are worthy of it. But you did not need them to, because you are love, and you did not need them to provide you safety. Of course, you deserved it. Of course, you're worthy of it. Of course, but you did not need it. At the core of it, whatever you're seeking externally, you already have it, because you are whole, you are complete. You just need to look within. So that was another fundamental, I think, shift that I had, um, which also set me free from a lot of things in my life, where it was like, oh, well, why am I carrying a sword if I am not in danger? Because I am safe. And then, of course, if you truly needed someone's love, you would not be here right now. You would straight up not survive. That's not true. If you truly needed someone to protect you, you would have just not be here. You would not have survived. The fact that you have survived is the very fact that that person's inability of loving you or protecting you did not actually mean anything, because you are complete. There's nothing in you that's broken. There's nothing in you that's incomplete. You are absolutely whole, and you always will be. It's the illusion of us being broken, illusion of us being incomplete, that keeps us suffering. That keeps us suffering. Oh, if only this person did not harm me. Oh, if only this person loved me. It's the illusion that we need people for us to be safe and to be loved. I'm not saying people in general. Of course, we need connection and community. I'm just talking about specific people. It's that illusion that keeps us stuck and suffering, because it's not true. If it was true, we would be free. So the fact that it keeps us shackled it's because it's a lie. You do not need people to be any certain way. You only need them to be who they are, and who they are is fine. Of course, I'm not saying if someone's not who you deserve or want them to be, you keep them in your life. I'm not saying that. Of course, you set boundaries, but sitting and being really, really upset over the fact that they are just not who you want them to be is not going to get you anywhere. Because you need to understand that it's okay if they are not who you want them to be. It's totally okay. Because whatever they're not being who they are, who you think they should be, or anything like that, is doing to you is not actually doing to you. So, it's totally okay. Let people be people. Repeat to yourself. Think about that person. Imagine them. Think in your head. It's okay if you're not who I wanted you to be. Set them free. Let them go. Set yourself free and realize, come back into your worth. Come back into your knowing that you are enough, like you are loved, you are safe. And you don't need anybody else to be a certain way to affirm that. No, the fact of your survival is proof enough. So don't forget that. And of course, this also extends to situations. You don't need anything to be a certain way to be safe or loved. You don't need any life situation to be a certain way to be loved or safe. You just need to understand. You need to understand and come to the realization, this truth, that you are loved and you are safe. Because if you weren't, you would not be here right now. What keeps you alive is the fact that you have been loved so far. If you weren't, you would not survive. And if you were unsafe, you would just not survive. So, it is there. You have made it this far. Understand and own up to it and let things go. Of course, it took me 21 years to come to this. So easier said than done. But yeah, I hope this helped someone. I know it has helped me. It's been one of the most freeing realizations I've had in my life, however much I've lived. And yeah, remember, it's okay if they are not who you wanted them to be. Just remember. And you are loved, you are safe, you're worthy, and goodbye.